From your Sack Field in Piscataway, New Jersey, a Sunday matinee to begin your September on RVision, presented by AT&T, as today the Fordham Rams out of the Atlantic 10 at 0-2 take on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights out of the American Athletic Conference at 3-0. Hello everyone and welcome to the Busch campus of Rutgers University. Danny Breslauer and Kyle Franco here with you. Kyle, just about a week and a couple days ago we were here for Rutgers opener against Drexel. Since then, wins over Army and Delaware.
Yeah, and you can't ask for a better start if you're Glenn Crooks. 3-0, the results speak for themselves. He'll look at little things here and there that he'll want to improve on. You know, as Army, they conceded 2 late goals in that game and then didn't generate a whole lot offensively outside of a penalty kick against Delaware. But again, 3-0 is 3-0, and it's a great start to the year for the Scarlet Knights.
Glenn Crooks, 14th year head coach of the Scarlet Knights. You see him there in the middle of that huddle. Rutgers 3-0 for the 9th time in program history, playing the 30th year of the program, and it's the 5th time, though, Kyle, since 2006, in large part because of the elite scoring of Janelle Foligno.
Yeah, but she's got some help, too, early in the season. We looked at it. Sarah Corson knocks in a pair of goals against Army. 2 big goals as well for the Scarlet Knights as they got out to a 3-0 lead, and that's big not only for Corson but for the rest of her teammates. It gives them confidence as well that there are other players on this in this side that can score other than Foligno, and it makes the opposition take notice too. And look, Rutgers is not a one-woman band. If you focus too much on Foligno, there are other players on this Rutgers roster that can hurt you.
As evidence, Sarah Corson, Madison Tiernan winning AAC Weekly Honor Roll selection. Starting lineups for Rutgers: Jess Janos in the goal with Erica Skrosky, Amanda DeVolk, Janelle Foligno, Haley Ketkowski. Samantha Valiant gets a start today at midfield. Erin Smith, her 2nd start in a row and back. Jen Andreessen, the freshman midfielder, starts with Brianne Reed, along with Trish DiPaolo and Madison Tiernan. There is Jess Janos, 250 minutes of scoreless soccer in a row for her. She'll go against Megan Fitzgerald for Fordham with Nicole Natal, Kelsey Dougherty-Howard, Jessica Widman, Casey Nowakowski, Kate McDonald, Victoria Samai, Ali Doyle, Mary Solomine, Bryce DeBolt, and Nicole Bates. Our head ref, Mark Allaton, and we are underway with Fordham in the road Maroons and Rutgers in the home whites. Kyle, your keys to today.
Danny, I got my eyes on Samantha Valiant and Jennifer Andreessen today, both getting a start alongside Haley Ketkowski in midfield. Let's see how they perform.
Rough start to the season for Fordham, a 2-1 overtime loss on opening night to Manhattan and a 5-0 loss at St. John's. Tiernan lays it back, and that rip high from Andreessen getting her first start here. Jen Andreessen, the freshman from Ramapo High School.
And it was good work by Madison Tiernan down his right-hand side to lose her defender. Cuts it back for Andreessen. A lot of space there. She may have even had time to take a touch and set herself. Fordham's got to close that space down. That's way too much room for Rutgers. And Danny, I think that could be a problem today for the Rams. They're coming off really, they got pasted 5-0 by St. John's in their last outing. And Rutgers certainly has better players today, and on paper, the Scarlet Knights should be good for a multi-goal victory.
And undisclosed reasons why they did not travel. Tri-captain Christina Maxudi, the junior forward who is their leading scorer of a year ago and had their 1 goal this year. Tiernan, a well-served ball, and it's just over an outstretched Amanda DeVolk, as well as the keeper Megan Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald posted a shutout second half against St. John's after Allie White allowed 5. That an attempted goal that's punched over the bar. It's Trish DiPaolo wanting to bring back some of her attacking mentality.
Well, it's an ambitious attempt by DiPaolo, but when you have that kind of time and space in front of you, why not? She forces Fitzgerald into a save. Goalkeeper does well to get up high and tip it over the crossbar. Great start, though, by the Scarlet Knights. This is what you would have asked for if you were Glenn Crooks. You have an inferior opponent in front of you. You've got to put them on the back foot right away.
Ness Selmani, the 18th year head coach of Fordham. He's a legend in soccer in New York City. Valiant takes the corner. Reed meets it. The header toward Foligno's punch down, and the volley over top by Skrosky. You'll see Skrosky move forward quite a bit.
Yeah, she's good on set pieces.
Megan Fitzgerald, the freshman goalkeeper from Monroe, Connecticut, a 4-year varsity starter at Massac High School. Rams 9-11 a year ago, going 3-6 away from Rose Hill. And those of you that are basketball fans will know Rose Hill is one of the more famous venues in all of college basketball in the Bronx. Andreessen. Now Erin Smith earning her first career start Friday night against Delaware, 65 solid minutes. We are 3 minutes into proceedings, 0-0 between Rutgers and Fordham here on RVision. And Kyle, in talking to Glenn Crooks before the game, it was evident he's emphasizing attack now. Defense was the preseason, and now it's let's get behind defenses.
Well, particularly today, you're against a team where you're going to have the majority of the ball, and on paper, you're the better side, so you're going to have to push the action today, and you're going to have to find a way to get those dangerous players involved. Get the ball wide to DeVolk, or get it wide to Tiernan. We've already seen Madison come in and be able to get a couple crosses in.
Ball played across by Samai. Intercepted by Brianne Reed. She has been a consistent center back for Rutgers now, stepping into that role as a sophomore from Tinton Falls. Red Bank Catholic grad, and that bounces off the chest of Samai and back to Rutgers.
And Dan, if you look at the lineup Fordham's put out today, without Maksudi, they're really the only way they're going to score is either on a set piece or from a Rutgers mistake.
They have Kate McDonald front running today, the junior out of Caldwell High School in North Jersey, so she'll be the target. Cut off by DePaulo as they were looking for McDonald. Dougherty Howard, that is a well-hit ball over top to a streaking Widman, but a little too much on it for a goal kick. Gives us a moment to talk about Jess Janos, Rutgers keeper, now in the midst of a 258-minute shutout streak heading into today. 9-3 in her career for the now redshirt senior, getting her chance out of Ringwood, New Jersey. Mentioned to Coach Crooks before the game, Kyle, you know, you'll remember Erin Guthrie, the very famous Rutgers goalkeeper in terms of shutouts, the all-time leader in that category for the Scarlet Knights. She was really the master of the one-save shutout. Her defenses were so good. And now here, through these first few games, Rutgers D has allowed just 6 shots on goal, I should say. And that is the best for Rutgers since they allowed 3 through 3 games in 2009.
And that certainly speaks to the goalkeeper, too, because part of your job back there is to marshal that back line and make sure everything's organized. But you're right, when Erin Guthrie was here, she had some wonderful defensive players in front of her that certainly made life easy for her. And you can see it again, Janos starting to develop that relationship, that chemistry with Reed and Skrosky, the 2 center backs in front of her.
Skrosky with a physical play there. Andreessen and Valiant, the 2 young midfielders, will link up through Katkowski, who's a veteran as a sophomore. Andreessen, the thought was for Foligno, and why wouldn't it be?
Yeah, it's a good little combination play in the midfield between Katkowski and Valiant. And tell you what, the run was on there for Foligno. Huge gaps in between the Fordham center backs there to exploit the pass. The final pass, though, not good enough that time for the Scarlet Knights. But it's there. Look for it as you keep going forward. Foligno slipping in between those center backs.
Pretty incredible when you consider we're, 7 years removed from 2006, and this is the 5th time that Rutgers has gone 3-0 during that stretch, as they'll have a foul on the far side. And I think worth noting is the fact that Rutgers began last year 4-0 before losing to Texas A&M on the road. And again, a very tough 4th game coming up, a 5th game, I should say, after today against Virginia down in Charlottesville, a team that knocked Rutgers out of the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, and really hammered Rutgers in that game. So it'll certainly be on the minds of these players to go down there, and they want to prove themselves that they're better than what they showed up last time in the NCAA tournament. Send a message not only to Virginia but to the rest of the country that this is a Rutgers side that's got to be taken seriously as a contender once we get down to NCAA tournament time.
6.5 minutes in. No score between Rutgers and Fordham. DeVolk with some pace down the left wing. Foligno chases DeBolt into a deep offensive third throw-in. No, they'll say it went on the right side of the flag. It will be a corner. So they'll leave that there for Valiant, who took the near side one before. A second corner for Rutgers 7 minutes in. Foligno appears poised for a short corner, and not buying it is Jessica Widman, who is 5 yards from the ball. Foligno lays off Valiant. Far post she goes. And waiting for it was Andreessen, but away by the center back of Fordham. Good hustle from the freshman getting a start.
Yeah, it is. Good closing down. Locks it in there. Fordham can't get out.
Friday night we were not with you. We had, of course, a shortened crew based on the Rutgers football season opener on Thursday night. So we'll be with you more consistently now throughout the Rutgers soccer seasons, with the men's team opening up next weekend at home against Penn State and Akron. Foligno turns the corner. Across the way, Fitzgerald bobbles. DeVolk was there to make life tough on her. Now Foligno chips it into Fitzgerald.
Well, Foligno's going to get left one-on-one against DeVolt. It's going to be a long day for the Fordham back line. There you can see Janelle able to just slip her way past DeVolt, turns her easily, and able to create an opportunity for the Scarlet Knights.
4-on-4, Solamine slows it down. She's perhaps one of the most talented players on this Fordham side, has the assist this year, the senior from Rumson Fairhaven High School down the shore in New Jersey.
A lot of Jersey influence in the Fordham sides. You know, so close to New York City, it's easy for them to come down and make that short trip south, and almost all their sports too, and pick up a lot of kids from Jersey. So much talent in this state, as we know. And
Solamine, a 4-time All-Shore Conference selection, very impressive. So we're 9 minutes in, still no score between RU and Fordham, but as the Rams did show last week, they concede one and it can lead to many.
Yeah, all 5 of those goals for St. John's came in the first half.
McDonald through ball. Skrosky has her number counterpart and Natal cut off. That's a dangerous play. Widman's foot was up in the face of DeVolk. So you get a look at Ness Selmani leaning up against his pod along the right-hand side. 18th year head coach of Fordham. Brought them into contention in the Atlantic 10. Coached many semi-professional clubs prior to becoming a part of this Fordham program. Well known for his time coaching the New York State Albanians, which broke every major semi-professional record in New York City, going undefeated in 24 contests. Madison Tiernan. Around 2 defenders, and you can just see the quality that the freshman has getting honor roll in the AAC last week.
And you can see when there's time and space on the ball for Rutgers in the midfield, they're able to get your head up and pick out a dangerous pass.
I was going to mention Friday night against Delaware. It was a 1-0 win for the Scarlet Knights to go to 3-0. It was a 16th minute PK and one of those bogged down 1-0 games that Rutgers has had over the course of the past couple of years. That slides through on the over-the-top ball from Andreessen. It's now DeVolk 10 minutes in. Great ball back for Valiant. The one time is just wide.
Yeah, it was. Andreessen with a good switch of the field there to pick out DeVolk. And then you can see Valiant coming in top of the 18. DeVolk pulls it back. It's on her unfavored left foot, though. Just doesn't make clean contact. But again, that's the second time Rutgers has had that little cutback ball for a shot at a player coming in for the top of the 18.
Remember last year in camp, Glenn Crooks was raving when he got Samantha Valiant. And it was an unfortunate knee injury, an ACL that kept her out of all of last year prior to the season beginning. Major player out of Markham, Ontario, Canada. Andreessen, now back for Valiant. Kedkowski. Tiernan's chip is headed away. Kedkowski's thought for Foligno. And the problem is Rutgers needs to get more creative in getting behind D's. It can't just be so direct. This is one way to do it. Foligno back to goal.
Now it's very narrow there too, Danny. You want to find some width. Tiernan had sucked inside. Somebody just wants to come out to the wing. You can play the ball there, play the overlap, and find space for a cross.
Kedkowski. One too many.
Yeah, again, it's very narrow for the Scarlet Knights right now.
4-4-2 out of Fordham. They will pack those 4 defenders in, the 4 midfielders in very tightly to the 4 defenders.
Absolutely. You'll see Fordham set up there in 2 banks of 4, and they'll be very content to let Rutgers have the ball in the midfield and pass it around. They'll want to try and deny that final ball when Rutgers tries to play over the top to Foligno or play through to either Tiernan or DeVolk.
12 minutes in, no score. Oh, that's an excellent ball from Valiant. Foligno is well on. She has 2 on 3, and DeVolk joining the attack. Here is Amanda DeVolk. Tiernan, far post. She finds her, and it's hit over the bar by a backtracking Allie Doyle for a corner.
Yeah, it's terrific defending by Allie Doyle to cut out the danger. She could see what Rutgers is doing. It's a beautiful counterattack by the Scarlet Knights. Foligno to DeVolk, and it's a good delivery by Amanda DeVolk. Madison Tiernan attacking it on the far post, but credit Doyle. Saw where the ball was going to be and is able to get it away. That's outstanding defending.
Freshman from Fairfield, Connecticut, 4-year starter. Second team All-Connecticut by MSG Varsity. The Rutgers staff there, left to right. Glenn Crooks, associate head coach, is Mike O'Neill. Meg Ryan, the assistant. Josh Ossett as well. 4 of them left to right, making a very cohesive staff. Third corner for Rutgers, all by Valiant. Near post, deflected away. But it has been all Rutgers so far. 3 corners, a trio of shots. Fitzgerald has been bothered a few times. Smith, Katkowski. This is the build-up Rutgers likes to see. Katkowski overzealous toward Foligno. It ends up with Andreessen, who picked out the first pass too early. You hear Mike O'Neill on our field mic, exactly what we were thinking.
Yeah, exactly. When you have that much space, take it. You know, make a defender commit to you, then play the pass in.
It's the beauty of hearing downstairs. We get exactly what the coaches are thinking, and in that case, Mike O'Neill wanting his midfielder to carry the ball. As Valiant does here, through to DeVolk. DeVolk does have quite a bit of speed, but is chopped down there. And Amanda DeVolk, who has suffered through some knee injuries in her career, is down, and it sends Rob Piacentini out onto the field for his first time today. Rutgers head athletic trainer.
Yeah, hopefully she's okay. Referee calling for the trainer right away.
That was very quick, you're right.
And it's not a head injury.
It was as if he might have heard something. Standing near Amanda DeVolk, who is a redshirt sophomore midfield forward out of Frisco, Texas. One of the few out-of-area players for the Scarlet Knights. Had a goal a year ago, one of Rutgers' more technical players on the ball.
And I thought this was an important game for her today, too, because you look at Sarah Corson coming in and scoring a pair of goals against Army. Rachel Cole's come on in the second half of games and set up a pair of goals. So there's a lot of competition for that starting spot. I thought this was important today for DeVolk to be able to come in and show what she's got and make an impact on today's game. Hopefully she's okay, can carry on.
Anthony Hernandez heads up work by our sports information director here, saying Rutgers will not take any chances with DeVolk here. She's coming right off. Rachel Cole will come on momentarily. Already a pair of assists on the year for the very bright attacker out of Dwight Englewood.
Yeah, she was a player that impressed me last year. I think she's got excellent skill on the ball. We've talked about her goal-scoring record in high school, which is outstanding. And she was unlucky at times last year, too. I think she must have crashed, 4, 5, 6 shots off the post to find more goals. So I think when she can get that first one to go this year, it might be a situation where that kind of piggybacks for her, and she can continue to play with confidence. Obviously, she's already got a couple assists this year.
Chance for you and I to talk about the pitch. It looks beautiful. We'll get you an overhead shot of it in a moment, but the field itself early on this year.
It doesn't look good for Amanda DeVolk.
No, it does not, as she'll limp off with Rob Piacentini holding her up. But there's the field that we mentioned before. Gorgeous this time of the year on September 1st. You'll recall 2 years ago, I know you weren't doing games with us just yet, but you were still involved in covering the programs. This particular game was pushed back to a Monday from a Sunday because of Hurricane Irene coming through the area, and this field was literally underwater and impossible to play. So it was pushed back a day, and you're right, that does not look very good for Amanda DeVolk coming off. Putting very little pressure on it. And if memory serves, she sat out the 2011 season when she got to Rutgers because of a senior year ACL tear during the 2010 high school soccer season.
You can just hope maybe it's just a twist or something and just a scare, get some ice on it and hopefully get evaluated. But we certainly wish her the best and hope that it's not as serious as it looks.
14 minutes in, first substitution in the form of Rachel Cole. Janos does well to lift that away. Andreessen, you can tell, very excitable in her first start here, the freshman.
Sure, a little bit of nerves anytime you get your first start of your career. I think that's to be expected. You just kind of got to work them out, and that happens as you continue to get touches on the ball.
There's Janelle Foligno, moved into 4th all-time in goals for Rutgers on Friday night with her 16th minute penalty kick. Now 27 for her career. And Kyle, 2nd all-time at Rutgers in game-winning goals, now with 13. You have to figure that Carly Lloyd and Chris Kurzanowski's record of 15 are in jeopardy.
Sure. We've talked at length about how great Foligno has been for this program. Obviously, she's an international quality player, and they don't always, they come along once in a blue moon, and certainly been outstanding for Glenn Crooks.
Janelle took the brunt of that challenge, and then as well the clearance from Andreessen that went off of her side. We've played a quarter hour. Nothing to show for it for either end.
Yeah, by the way, I caught some of Carly Lloyd last night in the NWSL championship game. Her Western New York actually losing to the Portland Thorns. Tobin Heath with a great free kick goal
Tobin Heath winning the MVP of that game.
Yeah, for Portland, and then Christine Sinclair sealed it late with Portland down to 10 men.
Alex Morgan on that squad as well?
She was. Didn't get a lot of run. She's coming back from a knee injury. And, of course, Carly Lloyd will be involved in that U.S. friendly against Mexico on September 3rd.
We'll try to keep you updated as well from Durham, North Carolina, where the Rutgers men's soccer team is playing in the Duke Soccer Classic. Worth noting, Kyle, an excellent 1-1 result for the men on Friday night. It would have been even better if not for 13 seconds left when Duke equalized.
Certainly, but you could look at it as at least he didn't lose the game after Duke went. That's so demoralizing when the opponent equalizes. He said with 13 seconds left, and it would have been very easy to drop the heads and concede the winner in overtime. And Dan Donegan's guys didn't do that. For credit for them for that. And they led for most of that game too. If you want to look at positives.
All of that game,
almost all of that game. And certainly Ken Eze on target. That's a great sign early in the year if he's banging in the goals.
Ken Eze had that goal in the 21st minute on Friday night. And our updates coming from Durham, North Carolina, have a 1-0 lead for Rutgers on Elon, a two-time defending conference champ at halftime.
Well, you certainly have to commend the way Dan Donegan scheduled early in the year. Very tough. So Rutgers is going to be ready come time for conference play.
And remember, you can catch them on Friday night here against Penn State, and then Sunday afternoon. If you got nothing to do,
better be
Sunday
here with
at 1
us.
o'clock. I know it's NFL Sunday, but you can have that on the TV. Rutgers Akron. Akron's the number 8 men's soccer team in the country. They won the national championship in 2010, and Rutgers has a real awesome opportunity to host them here next Sunday. So we'll see that, and then this squad will return for a doubleheader with the men on the 13th, the women's program, after coming back from Charlottesville. Here's Andreessen. Through for Foligno. 2-on-2. Tiernan. First touch let her awry just a bit, and Doyle has been excellent in defense, the two freshmen going at it. Fordham has to be thrilled with the start at 0-0 to 18 minutes in.
Yeah, I think they took that early hit from Rutgers, which they knew were coming. Obviously, Fordham's going to have to defend the day. They don't have the talent on the pitch that Rutgers does, so they're going to have to really dig in and make life difficult. And I think they've made it through that first 15, 20 minutes of the game, getting up now 20 minutes on the game. They've made it through. Now they kind of can settle in.
Valiant plays 1-2. And Dreesen was looking over top for Rachel Cole.
It's just, Danny, it's just so difficult to play this way, though, for 90 minutes where you're going to concede all of possession and defend as Rutgers rams it down your throat.
Smith trying to chip over top. Now it's laid through. Valiant, the through ball for Tiernan. Cut behind Doyle, who is again brilliant.
Doyle's had a nice start in that back four for Fordham. Again, well positioned to cut out that pass.
Fordham lost 5 of its final 7 games last year to fall out of Atlantic 10 tournament contention. They did upset Maryland in College Park, 1-0 on September the 9th. That was quite a marquee win for them. Here's Tiernan. Did that take a deflection? It did not. It is a goal kick 19 minutes in. As you get a look at Amanda DeVolk, it looks a foot, Kyle, up on that Gatorade.
It's certainly good news that it's not her knee.
Ankle, it appears. That's where the ice at least is wrapped.
And hopefully it's just a twisted ankle. And she'll be able to work that off in the coming weeks.
That's certainly great news for someone who's had knee issues, that it's not that. Through ball by Valiant. Here goes Rachel Cole. The strike is just wide of the post.
Oh, it's a missed opportunity for the Scarlet Knights. Wonderful work by Samantha Valiant in the midfield with the challenge. Goes in strong and wins the ball. Plays Rachel Cole in. She takes the touch, has her head up, and Danny, she's got to finish that. That should be 1-0 Rutgers. Missed opportunity for the Scarlet Knights.
Maria Giroux on for Madison Tiernan. Giroux, the senior forward from Toms River North. You're right, Kyle. Snake-bitten goal scorer. She has a pair of assists this year, but for Cole, who had a trio of goals as a freshman, and 135 in high school. That's one you would want to finish.
She did everything right. Had a touch, got her head up, saw where the goalkeeper was. She just didn't finish. She simply missed the goal.
Great ball from Valiant before.
It really was. It was great work in the midfield, too, to win that challenge. Fair, too, with the shoulder.
Foligno. Sometimes when you have a defender on your back all game, you just want to let one roll through and just use your pure speed, but She'll have that matchup with Casey Nowakowski all day, the senior from Cheshire, Connecticut. And without question, the rest of the year, the All-American will draw everybody's best defender. Here's been Rutgers' problem this year. Turnovers in the central third and then not backtracking. DiPaolo is beaten to the wing. Brianne Reed, the takeaway, and a dangerous play. And that will go Rutgers' direction as McDonald was on the ground.
Yeah, it was. McDonald grabbed the ball while she was on the ground after she went down. Tell you what, that's great help by Brianne Reed after McDonald able to cut inside Trish DiPaolo there. Reed's got the help. Good cover. Great challenge.
It's a truly professional tactic, though, Kyle. You see it so often at that level. When someone's taken down and they want to almost force the whistle out of the official, they just fall on the ball and grab it.
Fall on the ball.
Yeah. Sometimes you'll be the one carded for that. Clamoring challenge in midfield to no whistle, and we play on. Rutgers has no numbers as Andreessen will play wide and get a throw-in out of it.
It certainly was. It was Daughtry Howard in there against Katkowski. I thought it was a fair challenge, 50-50. Both players took a pretty good knock. It's good to see that they're both back up on their feet.
Jess Janos now at 280 minutes of shutout soccer. It was Alana Jimenez that allowed the 2 goals against Army. Valiant has it
again with a nice challenge. Won it clean.
Cole. Oh, that's a great little first touch. Gets around the defender, and that most certainly is a cardable offense. And that will stop the clock as the yellow is quickly brandished.
Nicole Bates, who's the one who brings down Rachel Cole. Great work by Cole again. Little tricky footwork, just shows it to Bates and then goes around her to the outside. Has to bring her down. Easy decision for the referee. In my opinion, obvious yellow card.
Would have been a breakaway otherwise. Bates, the number 27, has to pull down Cole, and it comes in the 23rd minute. Free kick into the wall from Cole. Wide for DiPaolo. 60-year senior toward the box. Giroux is waiting. Doyle again keeps it away and over the bar. But it's a 4th Rutgers corner. More substitutions.
The pressure really mounting here by Rutgers. You would like to see them be able to get a goal here before the end of that first half. You feel like if they could break the Fordham resistance the first time, there's going to be a flood of goals to follow.
Lorena Kanakati and Block on for Fordham. For Rutgers, Moreno and Prager. Katkowski and Tiernan take a seat. It is Valiant one more time on the corner.
Into the game for Fordham, number 7, Turner Block. She replaces number 18, Kate McDonald.
And that's down into the box, but push on Rutgers as Prager went over top. Prager did draw the start day 1 of her freshman year, the midfielder out of Mount Laurel and Lenape High School, but since game 1, not necessarily falling out of favor, but Glenn Crook's trying a few different things in these 4 games that he has a luxury to do so. And then things wake up with Virginia and William and Mary down in Charlottesville. Like to see the hustle from Foligno getting back to help out Prager. Are you settling just a little bit for that first pass, though? Played a half of the first. No score.
It really should be 1-0, though, to Rutgers. Rachel Cole with that golden opportunity. Chance missed when she put it wide of the goal.
Giroux with the right wing claimed. As Rutgers and Elon men's soccer play in a rainstorm down in Durham, which we anticipate getting some of that rain later today here. It is very, very muggy, but it is still 1-0 Rutgers, that game approaching the midway point of the second half. I'm sure they are thinking, no late concession, please. Cole, the back heel on to Moreno, who has one from 20, and it's bouncing into Fitzgerald.
Interesting tactical change by Rutgers. Foligno is pulled out to the left-hand side, and Rachel Cole has now gone through the middle.
Something that Glenn Crook said he might do this year with his world-class player.
And it's something you can do in a game like this, because certainly Rutgers has the advantage in terms of speed and skill. And Foligno, if you can get her one-on-one against the right back, yeah, that's advantage Rutgers. Foligno is going to win that almost 10 out of 10 times.
Tackle by DePaulo leads to a Fordham throw. And Foligno, the redshirt senior forward from Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, the preseason American Athletic Conference Player of the Year, already with a pair of goals. Also a preseason All-American, according to Soccer America. 15 goals a year ago on the Mac Herman Trophy watch list. There's Foligno, who had excellent experience in the Olympics for Canada against the United States. Remember during camp, Rutgers watching that game as a squad, getting a chance to see their teammate play against their country.
Hoping she would score and Canada would lose.
That is exactly what they were hoping for.
Right, that's how it works, right?
That is. Or you would think, at least most of them. There are a few Canadians on this team. Don't forget that. Pietrangelo's here, Valiant. So you can't always say that with the Scarlet Knights as they get a throw in. Glenn Crooks has been known to recruit the Toronto area pretty heavily. So there he is in his 14th year. 190 wins now, just 10 shy of 200, 12 shy of the Rutgers all-time record. Here's Foligno. Well driven across the box, lands down for Moreno. A fifth Rutgers corner coming up.
There's a good ball in by Foligno, low driven ball. And it bounces to Gabby Moreno, Fordham defender, able to get the block in.
We'll go Victoria Prager. Goes by Tori for this corner. PDA South Crush player out of Lenape High School. Short corner for DePaulo. Good move from Trish to get free. Fires away right into Fitzgerald, but it had great trajectory.
It was a good first touch by Trish DePaulo to move it on her right foot. And it has a crack. Comfortable save in the end for Fitzgerald.
Giroux brings it down. First touch through. Good stuff from Maria Giroux since coming on for Madison Tiernan before. Valiant runs on. Cole is just off by a step.
And Rachel Cole just hanging off the back shoulder of that defender. Couldn't hold her run. Just goes a second too early, and it's an offside.
Very clear, though. Rutgers doing much better in getting behind.
But that's where chances are, though. There's some gaps in between the center backs of Fordham. Right there, the ball turns over to Valiant, and she's just looking to slip Cole in behind. Just started her run a split second too early.
This game 2 years ago, I mentioned, pushed back a day by Hurricane Irene, and it did not hurt Rutgers in any way. Janelle Foligno had a hat trick that day. In fact, her 6 points that day. For the last time a Rutgers player had 5+ until Sarah Corson had 2 goals and an assist against Army last week. Foligno behind, the feed from Cole, and Fitzgerald punts away Foligno's volley.
Oh, it's a wonderful ball by Rachel Cole, isn't it? Over the top, picks out Foligno, and you have to say, great goalkeeping by Fitzgerald. It's brave, too, off her line, and is able to deny Foligno.
I think Allie White's aware that her job may have just been taken by the freshman Fitzgerald. He's looked brilliant since coming on for her.
She had to come off her line there. Makes herself big and is able to deny Foligno, but a great ball over the top by Rachel Cole, picking out Foligno, running in behind.
Here's Cole. Got a bounce from the back. The 50-50 should be a Cole foul. It is. She was second there.
But I like her activity since she's coming in. She's been all over the place, served in a couple good balls. Obviously, she would like to have that chance back that she missed. But you got to like what you've seen from Rachel Cole since coming in for DeVolk.
9 shots to 1 in favor of Rutgers, 6 corners to none, 4 saves for Fitzgerald. Janos has yet to be bothered. Can have a picnic back there half hour in, but it's still 0-0.
Set up a blanket and have a PB&J.
Yes. It's a little hot for that. We'll need some lemonade. Skrosky volleys it away. Even the back line hasn't been too bothered so far. It's been mostly between the 18s here for Rutgers. Valiant has picked out every little pass. DePaulo was wanting Foligno, and now it's a counter.
It's got to be a better ball from DePaulo because there's acres of space for Foligno in behind.
Sprint to the ball will be won by the byline. Army of substitutes for the Scarlet Knights. It's Pietrangelo, along with Erica Sousa, Maggie Morash, and Steph Scholes. And Foligno a little gassed half hour in. She'll come off.
It's a chance here for Glenn Crooks to throw a new set of players on some fresh legs for the final 15 minutes to have a run at that Fordham defense now. You know, which has clearly got to be getting tired are the Rams because all they've done today is defend.
Replacing number 14, Samantha Valiant.
We expected to see Erica Sousa today. Started the year a little banged up. Reed will head that back to Janos for her first real involvement, frankly. Sousa, the sophomore defender from Long Island and Franklin Square. You'll see her along the outside back. There she is with a touch. Taken away by Turner block, but Sousa got there first. That's the recovery that Glenn Crooks always talks about. Sousa will want to just knock that away and get a throw-in out of it. Mentioned 2006 before, this being the 5th time since 06 that Rutgers is 3-0. During that same time frame at home, 55, 14, and 11. That's good for a 76% win percentage.
I mean, what's rule number 1 in college soccer? You got to win your home matches.
They do just that here at Yersack Field. And Fordham, through a half hour at 0-0, 32 minutes in to be exact.
Yeah, that was always going to be the plan for Fordham, wasn't it? To get, you know, 8-9 behind the ball, make Rutgers work, try and keep them off the scoreboard, and then you'll either wait for a Scarlet Knight mistake or try and pip something on the counter.
Sousa picked it out, but without much direction. Scholes pressing Doyle will get a throw in for Fordham. Fordham will look to answer with the substitute, Jessica Melendez.
But as we said, without Christina Maxudi here, it's going to be difficult for Fordham to generate any kind of offense.
But the junior forward out of Del Mar, New York, who did not travel today, was not on our travel roster. Remember, they have had a full week between games, so there could be something that we are unaware of. Prager has her pass just picked up right off the ground. That by the foot of Kelsey Dougherty Howard. Moreno with, as you put it before, acres of space. Picking out the first through ball, though, and not carrying at a defender. Glenn Crooks keeps telling them, especially the midfield, is, listen, there are more than one way to get around a defense. It's been all direct, all through balls. And using the width, very important. Here's a chance to do so with Scholes. Her first touch was loose. She wins the 50-50. Nearly to Giroux. Pietrangelo. Prager from Moreno. First touch had purpose. Still Moreno. 5-on-3. Over top and wide for Giroux, but Fitzgerald beat her there.
You could see the idea there from Moreno trying to get Giroux in behind. I think Giroux's just got to recognize what's going on there a little bit sooner. Got to start that run earlier. Rutgers 2-0 all time in this series. 3-0 in 09 here on this pitch, and then 4-1 in 2011. Same spot. Second half hat trick from Foligno. First half tally from Cassianasio. Both remain on the squad.
Does that mean offensively? Okay.
Cole. Good switch of fields to Sousa. Rutgers playing 11 home matches this year. This is the third. So you're getting to hear some analysis from Maria Swift, the junior midfielder that's getting ready to check in for Fordham from Costa Mesa, California, and the very famous Mater Dei High School for athletics. Alma mater, if I recall, of DJ Strawberry, the son of Daryl. Played his college ball at Maryland.
Good job, Jess!
Sousa. You can tell Glenn Crook's still trying to fully figure out what midfield combinations are best for his attack. But as he told me on the pitch before the game, it's September 1st, and we're 4 games in.
Yeah, and it takes some time to find the right combinations.
Prager wide for Morash, who's on after Smith had the start in her place. Cole is onside and is one-on-one and instead whacks away and high.
Well, she elected to take that first time on her left foot. You just wonder if maybe she had a chance to bring that down and go around the defender in an area too where just a little bit of pace there. Defender lunges in, you can win a penalty kick as well.
"16 minutes to play in Durham, North Carolina. Rutgers 1, Elon 0. SoCon champs 2 years in a row. Rutgers has them on the ropes. We're 8:40 to play here, first half, and despite a 10-1 shot advantage over Fordham, we have no score between the Scarlet Knights and the Rams here on RVision, presented by AT&T. Happy Sunday to you, a happy start to September. Danny Breslauer and Kyle Franco welcoming you aboard. Here's Melendez, the substitute. Skrosky, just enough of a nudge. Widman toward the box. It bounces in a dangerous area, which is taken care of by Sousa. Fordham corner.
Now, this is where I think Fordham can be dangerous. When they get an opportunity for a set piece to play a ball in the box, you know, you can get some of the center backs up, the taller players, and ping-pongs around a little bit, can fall to anybody's feet. This is what the Rams have been hoping for when they're going to try and score.
Corner Rams. Their first set piece will roll to Pietrangelo, who wasn't willing to take a chance that would be off of Rutgers.
Inadvertent horn.
Inadvertent horn. Not sure exactly what that will result in. That ball was not out to touch.
It should just be a drop ball.
Yes. And that's exactly what Mark Allerton will do. Try to make sure that the possession is kept where it was. And some unfortunate news to report from Durham. In the 80th minute, Miles Mansfield has equalized for Elon. So, second straight game, the Scarlet Knights allow an equalizer in the final 10 minutes.
That'll be a concern for Dan Donegan moving forward. You know, his team has been able to get in front, but when you're trying to close that game out, you know, you can't concede late like that.
Assuming overtime, we'll keep you posted on that front. .640 to go first half here. 0-0 between Rutgers and Fordham. In women's soccer action, RU on a 3-0 start for the 9th time in program history.
I would like to see Rutgers just find a little bit of width here and try and play down the wings. You can take a player on, get to the end line, get a cross in. Right there, again, very narrow, trying to play through the middle. Nobody came and showed outside for an option.
Remember at the start of the game we said that Janos was on a 257-minute shutout streak and that this defense had allowed just 6 shots on goal. And both of the records in those categories coming from the 09 season. 3 shots on goal, and Aaron Guthrie's 403-minute shutout streak to start the year. Will be very tough to reach that, considering you're talking about 90 or 110 here today, and then you go right into Virginia at 360
you know, to
minutes.
be honest, it's going to be very difficult to come out of the next weekend without conceding a goal. That's I mean, that's just kind of the way soccer is. Particularly if you're going to look on you're going on the road and playing a very good team in Virginia and another good team in William and Mary.
Allie Ryan on for Rutgers, the freshman forward out of Bowie, Maryland. Giroux comes off. On for Fordham was Kelly Alpaugh, the senior forward from Mullica Hill, New Jersey, in Clearview Regional High School. You mentioned the New Jersey talent on Fordham. Rutgers gets the cream of the crop in terms of the academy players, but there are plenty that do go elsewhere.
Yeah, so many spots on a roster.
Sousa with 5 to go in the first. Here's Cole, who you know has a goal in her. That's a trip by the best defender of this first half, Allie Doyle. Cole was on a breakaway behind the defense, about 25 minutes in, and hit it hard with purpose toward a corner, which is what you're taught to do as a striker on a breakaway, but it missed the frame by about a foot. Prager toward the box. Back post, Moreno has it. Brings it down to Ryan, who let it roll back. Thought Morash would be there, and instead it's a 3-on-3 counter for Fordham. Melendez, the correct feedback for Alpaw. 1-2 with Melendez. How about this build-up from Fordham? Block has it stripped away by Prager, who will be called for that foul.
That's a little bit unlucky for Tori Prager because she's working hard to get back in cover after Rutgers gives the ball away. And in fact, the player from Fordham underhit that pass, which played Prager into trouble, who ends up going into the defender and giving away the free kick. But that's the first time we really saw Fordham break with some purpose. And again, it was when the ball turned over by Rutgers.
Well, you had the sense another would come, and it did for Elon, and it's 2-1. Phoenix have taken the lead on the Scarlet Knights down in Durham. 3:15 to go in the first here. No score. Janos just keeps that out. What a hit from Dougherty Howard. That was going for the top corner.
No, I had a feeling Dougherty Howard was going to go for goal there. And it was. You're right, Danny. It's a really good hit from the free kick. And credit Tish Janos. She's had very little, actually almost nothing to do all afternoon. And she's got to be quick and to her left to palm it away. Good save by the Rutgers goalkeeper.
Keeps her shutout streak alive, nearing 300 minutes plus. Schultz. It's just the second shot of the day for Fordham. And I would argue beyond the Cole hit, that's the most dangerous we've seen today. And considering where it was kept out, probably the most dangerous.
Again, a set piece.
Yes.
You know, when you don't have the quality of players like that, that's your best opportunity to score is on the set piece. And right there, Dougherty Howard, lines went up, and that's a really good hit from that distance. And Janos had to be quick to her left-hand side to make that save. She's had nothing to do today, so credit to her. That's one of the toughest things for a goalkeeper is when they've been standing around doing nothing, and then they've got to go real quick like that and make a save.
It was to the point we made earlier about Aaron Guthrie and the many one-save shutouts that she had and being available for that 85th minute save. That's what made her so
good, though, and that's what you want to see from Janos, is that when they are called upon that one time, they're ready. They're like that, like a cat, real quick to make the save.
It's her footwork that was such a major emphasis in the offseason. Getting quicker, and she has. Sousa for Cole, who handled that. We'll go to Fordham.
Hey, just sense maybe a little frustration from this Rutgers group that's out on the pitch right now. They've been banging on the door for 44 minutes here and been unable to find a goal. Maybe just that little bit of frustration setting in at the end of the first half. Might be good just to get into the locker room now and regroup.
That's off of Reed's hand. So Fordham moves it 60 yards forward on 2 handballs with 75 seconds to play in the first half. And despite a 10-2 shot advantage, a 6-1 corner kick advantage, it's no score, and that staff has questions to consider at halftime in the locker room.
There's Daughtry Howard again over this set piece. This one a little further out than the one just a few moments ago. I'm not sure she can go for goal from this. It might be too far. Might want to clip one in here.
Far post. Can't be kept off the byline and out for a goal kick, and that should be the final involvement of the first half, Kyle. What did you see in those 45?
I thought Rutgers started well. A lot of time and space on the ball in midfield. As we expected, Fordham's going to drop 8 behind the ball and try and make it difficult. I would just like to see the Scarlet Knights get a little more width and try and create some things, get some crosses in. That might be an area where they're able to get at the Fordham defense.
Well, in terms of the lion's share of the possession, Rutgers did have it. For nearly the entire first half, Rutgers possessed. They took 10 shots. They made Fitzgerald turn 4 away. Cole missed one just left of goal. And that is the only true goal-scoring opportunity here for Rutgers in the first. Janos kept one off the line just before halftime. And it's 0-0 at the break between Rutgers and Fordham. We'll return with the second 45 and perhaps beyond after this on RVision, presented by AT&T.
Your ticket is valid for only one entry into the stadium. We thank you, fans, for your cooperation. Fans, please be sure to stop by the concession stands located in the concourse behind the stands, where you can enjoy an ice-cold Pepsi, the official soft drink of Rutgers Athletics. You can also enjoy hot dogs, nachos, and plenty more. Proceeds go to support your Rutgers Scarlet Knights athletic programs. Ladies and gentlemen, Ronald and Yersack Field is a smoke-free facility, so fans, please do not smoke. Thank you. Fans, follow Rutgers Athletics on Facebook at facebook.com/Rutgers Athletics and on Twitter at RUAthletics for all of the latest news and updates regarding your Scarlet Knights. For specific updates regarding women's soccer and men's soccer, follow the program on Twitter at RUSoccer. Fans can receive timely information, including special offers and giveaways throughout the year on our social media outlets, along with www.scarletknights.com, the official homepage of your Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Fans, Rutgers is proud to provide the official Scarlet Knights app for iPhones and iPads. The app features live RVision video and audio of Rutgers sporting events and news conferences, and provides photos, news stories, schedules, social media, and team information. The app is available at the App Store for Apple and on iTunes for $2.99. And the Rutgers Department of Intercollegiate Athletics.
We return to Yersack Field in Piscataway. Second half of action coming up. It's RU and Fordham at zeros after 45 minutes played here on RVision, presented by AT&T. Danny Breslauer, Kyle Franco will return with you on the Bush campus. Colin Osborne, your producer-director, this afternoon down in the truck. There's Mike O'Neill, Rutgers associate head coach. He's going over the keys. Kyle, what is he telling his team right now?
He's telling them they need to get a goal in the first 15 minutes of this half. The longer Fordham is able to keep this 0-0, the greater the belief that they can leave here with the result. You know, I thought Rutgers started well in the game today, and then it dropped off a little bit as the first half went around. Just pick up your energy right now and just attack Fordham right here. Try and get a goal in the first 15 minutes. You feel like if Rutgers can get one, the floodgates will open.
Rutgers 3-0, Fordham 0-2 out of the Atlantic 10. Couple news and notes to share. First, from the Duke Soccer Classic, Rutgers conceding twice in 2 minutes, the 76th and the 78th, erasing a 34th minute Nathan Brookeleri goal. 2-1 final for Elon.
Tough way to go down for Dan Donegan's crew. To lead for so long and then concede 2 late goals. He'll look back at that tournament. They'll leave with a loss and a draw, but maybe a little bit of an empty feeling for them coming home for 2 tough games against Penn State and Akron.
We'll see them Friday night. You're going to want to be there. 7 p.m. kickoff against Penn State, a Big Ten preview, and then Sunday the 8th against Akron. That's all sandwiched around Rutgers football's opener.
Get some nice crowds in here too. Penn State always draws well in this area, and certainly Akron. Hopefully, the student body recognizes the quality of opposition coming in.
Janelle Foligno, is she the player you're looking for off the top?
Yeah, absolutely. You need that little bit of lift right now. We know she has that quality. Yeah, she's the player I'm looking for to get in behind and make something happen here.
A note as well to pass along from the Fordham end. We said that Christina Maxudi did not travel. She did travel. She's just not dressed. The junior forward, the leading scorer for Fordham out of Del Mar, New York, and Bethlehem Catholic High School. Just a no play today. 10 shots to 2 in favor of Rutgers, 6 corners to 1, 4 saves for Fitzgerald, the Fordham keeper, just 1 for Janos, the Scarlet Knights keeper, but boy was it a big one, keeping Dougherty Howard's free kick off the line. Quick start for Madison Tiernan. The freshman bull rushes the box. The lefty's strike is just high and wide.
Oh, there it was. Rutgers found a little bit of width there. Tiernan able to run it to defender, 1-3-1, gets the better of her and gets a cross in. So that's kind of what I was asking for at the end of that first half. Find somebody to pull out wide and take a defender on.
Only aspect of summary other than Amanda DeVolk, who stays on the sidelines with crutches at her feet with a first half injury, an ankle it appeared, as she was helped off by Rob Piacentini. So DeVolk cheering on her teammates from the sideline. That is the one aspect of injury to report.
And Danny, interesting here. Amy Pietrangelo starts on the left side of that 4-3-3. Rachel Cole on the bench. I thought Cole had a really active first half. I thought she was Rutgers' best player in that first half, despite the missed opportunity when she really should have scored.
Great point. Valiant was excellent as well. She'll play through. Foligno is onside. The lefty strike is wide. Valiant has picked out every pass.
And that's what you're talking about, playing it on the ground, trying to split the gaps in the back four. Foligno able to stay onside. First touch just lets her down a little bit, gets a little far out in front of her body, and she's not able to get her shot on target, but a good opportunity early in the first half for Rutgers, or second half.
The behind the goal look at Megan Fitzgerald, the freshman goalie, who has now played 2 halves of clean sheet soccer against St. John's and Rutgers since coming on for Allie White at halftime last week. Tiernan beats Doyle there and gets a corner out of it. Well, that's great work from the freshman, Tiernan.
It's great strength, and we've seen her show that before. If you remember her goal here on opening night where she had to fight off that challenge. Again, right there, able to show her physicality, which a lot of times a freshman doesn't have. She's up for it in terms of being able to bang in there against the defenders.
The New Jersey Player of the Year out of Voorhees and Eastern Regional High School. Foligno plays back. That over top.
Yeah, and that time,
Pietrangelo.
Pietrangelo, not a good delivery that time. Good short corner routine by the Scarlet Knights. There's an opportunity there for Pietrangelo to really whip a ball in on her left foot. Needs a better delivery.
Fordham did have a first half caution that perhaps saved the goal. It was Nicole Bates in the 23rd. Rachel Cole had a breakaway otherwise. Katkowski was very quiet, and it's funny. She can be an all-conference type player, which she is preseason according to the AAC, and you may never know she's on the field the whole game.
And if there's one thing I would like to see Haley Katkowski add to her game, it's some goals. And I think that'll come with, as she continues to get minutes and get comfortable with her role in this team, is one thing she can do is I would show her tape of Carly Lloyd playing for the U.S. national team.
As a holding mid.
Right,
sure.
As a holding mid who arrives late into the box and is able to score a lot of goals that way.
Natal. Push from behind by Reed. Fordham will get a restart out of this. Professional foul from Reed. Backtracking. Slows down Fordham's attack 35 yards out.
Again, straight on here, Daughtry Howard lining up over it. I wonder if she'll have another pop-it goal.
This one a little bit further out than the one she was able to put on for him.
But certainly she shows she has the quality to strike a free kick.
She's a captain. Started 14 games back in 2011. Suffered a season-ending injury last year. St. Petersburg Catholic High School out of Largo, Florida. And you're right. On goal, why not, into Janos.
Yeah, from that distance, though, is always going to take something special. Comfortable save for Janos.
DePaulo, too much for Pietrangelo. Rutgers links have not been as precise as they'd like them to be. Skrosky, a little nonchalant to the ball. And this one will roll out for a goal kick nonetheless. We've often said how comfortable Skrosky appears on the ball, but that time a little bit too much as it rolls out for the byline. Some news to report, Kyle, from Anthony Hernandez?
Yeah, just if you were Matt Matsui, the top scorer for Fordham, has a nagging injury that's keeping her out of today's game. So it's not a disciplinary issue.
There you go, Matsudi sitting out today due to injury. But the official word from Fordham. Andreessen's through ball for Pietrangelo, who is off just behind the back line. That's a big loss for Fordham's attack. Certainly, with the quality they've had in a couple of counters, you never know if this could be 1-0 Fordham.
Yeah, certainly if you have your leading scorer in the game that has that ability to produce a goal. We've seen Fordham from time to time get forward on the counter. I thought they did better at the end of that first half, and certainly they won that one dangerous free kick that Daughtry Howard put on frame, and Janos made a nice save. But yeah, you do wonder if you had that forward up there, if maybe she turns one of those counterattacks and produces a moment of brilliance.
Away by Reed. Into the foot of Solimene, who probably misses Maksoudi the most. Those two linking up against Manhattan. Good challenge from Andreessen. DiPaolo whacks it through, and Pietrangelo is behind. 2 on 3. Pietrangelo gets there to shield. Back for DiPaolo, who can serve. Does so low to Foligno. Spins in the box, still Foligno. Fires away, save Fitzgerald. Still Foligno, poor Tiernan, who whiffed on it. And it pops up and over the byline.
Oh, it's a wonderful opportunity for the Scarlet Knights. Foligno showing great determination to stay with that as it pinballs around in the box. Got to say, smart save by Fitzgerald on that snapshot by Foligno, and then it comes across from Tiernan, and she just whiffed on it, not able to get good connection, and it goes wide.
It's the official word from Fordham Sports Information. It's been a nagging injury. Maksoudi played a full game against Manhattan, just 20 minutes against St. John, so she couldn't get loose enough today, probably the way to describe it. But that was one of Rutgers' best attacks today, starting with Pietrangelo's shield and DiPaolo's serve.
Good, we're good, we're good.
Foligno continues to be dangerous. Have to always account for where she is on the field. This a deep offensive third throw-in, and perhaps our first chance to see Brianne Reed give it a try today, but no, Prager on for her.
Well, it looks like it might be an injury issue for Brianne Reed. She looks like she's holding her face or her left eye.
What I'm told, Tiernan can throw the ball just as far, just not as flashy with the flip throw. Into the box. Here comes Prager. On Fitzgerald again, another save. The freshman has been excellent. Tiernan, corner kick, Rutgers 8.
Well, Megan Fitzgerald has saved Fordham's bacon a couple times in this game. Right there, 2 real smart saves at her near post. Ball comes in quick there. First it was Foligno, and then that time Tiernan. Fitzgerald, well done to parry it away.
15 shots for Rutgers, no goals. It is 0-0 between the Scarlet Knights and Fordham as we play here in the 53rd minute. Short corner to Prager. Official will call it back.
It looks like Brianna Reed's getting the concussion test on the sideline. I wonder if one of those head balls.
Tiernan. Oh, toward the back post. Everyone was waiting, but it had too much pace to it.
It was a teasing ball in by Tiernan. Really struck low and hard to the back post, but a little bit too much pace on it. Nobody from Rutgers able to get on the end of it.
Glenn Crooks likes it, though. You have to if you're the 14th-year head coach. His team has dominated in every facet of the game except breaking through. It's still 0-0.
But it's been a good start in the second half for Rutgers, and that's what he would have wanted at halftime, to come up and pick the energy up.
Here's Foligno getting behind the defense. Cuts to her left foot and fires away just wide of the post.
And Janelle was always going to take that on when she got an opportunity to go 1v1, cut it inside to her left foot, and we know she has a great left. Unable to get the shot on frame.
You sense Rutgers has more than one goal in it.
If it can get a first.
Yeah. Good win by Dougherty Howard. DiPaolo pulled off the ball and shrugs the attacker McDonald down. It's a good win from Solimene. Taking back Prager.
That's good work by Rutgers in the midfield once they lost the ball.
And Dreesen was looking for Tiernan wide. The win by Smith, who has filled in admirably at right back.
Watch, one coming, one coming.
Valiant, who I know you would like to see move forward a bit, considering her passing today. Ketkowski.
Yes, Case, good job, Casey.
Tiernan will have no chance at that. Fitzgerald will run onto it on the pass from Andreessen. Jennifer Andreessen, the New Jersey ODP participant for 3 of 4 years. Of course, Glenn Crooks very involved with that program. All-American nominee twice out of Ramapo High School, North Jersey. Janos does enough to get it away.
Good work, Jessica.
Kyle Franco's least favorite play in soccer, the backtrack to the keeper, who has more than one touch to it. Katkowski. Oh, Foligno has lots of room along the left side. She'll have to wait now as Tiernan will switch the field, and that one short hops.
As Doyle again with a good intervention there. If that gets by her, Pietrangelo might be in.
Foligno looking for the seal off the pass from Tiernan. Nothing there. Throw in Rutgers. We've played 10 minutes. The Rutgers crowd is slightly uneasy. Second half of play, 55th minute. No score between RU and Fordham, but it has been all Scarlet Knights out shooting Fordham at a 5-1 clip, 16-3. Tiernan, line drive throw. They miss Brienne Reed in that spot, certainly. Can put it in the 6 of the flip throw every time. 2-on-2 counter. It's Melendez going one-on-one with the freshman Smith. Check that, it's Samai. Samai cuts it back. Taken away. Rutgers recovers well.
And good work by Aaron Smith. Did enough just to get her body in the way and force Samai to cut it back. And that just was able to kill off the attack. But that was an opportunity for Fordham off the turnover from the throw-in. 2v2 going the other way at pace. That's where the Rams can be dangerous.
Katkowski. Rutgers' top holding midfielder last year, already a captain as a sophomore from Massachusetts. Sneaking behind the defense on a counter as McDonald. DePaulo was there.
It's a good challenge from Trish DePaulo, isn't it? She had to get that right coming in from behind, and certainly did. Wins the ball.
Tiernan. Freshman one too many touches, and instead sending through is Widman. Right wing, she has it. Her cross was well put. Right on top of the 6-yard box, far post, but no one made that run.
Best couple minutes here for Fordham in this game. Rutgers a little bit sloppy in the midfield, gave the ball away twice there, and that's what allowed the opportunity for Fordham.
You gotta find the ball, Sam.
Keep up the effort, Jess. Good job.
If you're just joining us, Rutgers is on a 3-0 start for the 5th time since 2006, looking to go to 4-0, but 0-0. So we're in the 58th minute here at Yersack Field between the Scarlet Knights and Fordham, which comes in 0-2. Rutgers has had a plethora of opportunities. They're out shooting Fordham 16-3. They have 8 corner kicks. Rachel Cole, Janelle Foligno have had the best chances. Madison Tiernan as well. Now Andreessen. Katkowski. Valiant, great touch. Foligno is on somehow. Slides it through. Still Foligno. Still Foligno. On for Tiernan. Back to Foligno. Into goal. Fitzgerald got low enough to keep it out. The hit from outside is knocked around. Still Tiernan, and Rutgers will keep it on a throw, but somehow off the line.
It just won't go for Rutgers right now. Again, Fitzgerald standing up big. I think Foligno just got that caught underneath her feet as she went to strike it. Ends up on her right foot, only got a toe poke away. And Fitzgerald able again to make herself big in another great piece of goalkeeping by the Fordham netminder. You know, she's been man of the match so far.
Tiernan, long throw. Deflected on.
Good work, Mayor.
Katkowski, well played wide for Smith, who will join the attack. The freshman defender from Medford Lakes has it taken away. Sloppy in midfield on both sides right now.
And these games become more and more difficult for the side like Rutgers that's in the ascendancy. The longer it stays 0-0, and Fordham is able to keep them off the board.
Rachel Cole on for Madison Tiernan.
That's a good substitution by Glenn Crooks. I thought he needed to get Rachel Cole back in the game. She was dangerous in that first half. In fact, I thought she was Rutgers' best player in the opening 45 minutes.
If you'll remember.
And I think she just offers that little bit quality to complement Foligno.
Rachel Cole did sneak in behind the defense and nearly put one home that would have sent Rutgers ahead 1-0 after 25 minutes. Now, we played a quarter hour of the second half, 60th minute. No score, despite Rutgers' pure domination of the game, out-shooting Fordham 6-1. And additionally, Kyle, remember, in college soccer, in the regular season, if you're new to this, We do play 2 overtimes, golden goal, 10 minutes each, if we're undecided after 90.
Correct, and no penalty kicks, so it would be a draw after the two overtime periods is still tied. You know, one thing I do like about bringing Rachel Cole in the game, just to finish that point, is she can play through the center. So that lets Foligno pull out in the wide positions, which takes some of the pressure off of her. It takes some of the eyes of the 2 defenders. A lot of times Foligno's drawing double teams. It takes some of that away. You can't necessarily double team her when she stands out on the wing.
St. John's beat Fordham the other day 5-0, but I think Glenn Crooks would be the first to tell you, and I know he won't be thrilled with today, regardless of how things go here in the final half hour. But if you get 3 points, it really doesn't matter if it's 1-0 or 5-0. You're not looking for goal differential here, not group play of any kind. Far post settled down by Lorena Kanakati. Maria Lorena Kanakati, the junior midfield forward out of St. Francis Prep in the city. Foligno's taken down. Wow, Janelle Foligno tracking all the way back.
Well, that's the thing. That's what happens though when she plays in the wide position. She's got to track back in defense, so she's got more responsibility.
Can't tell whether she's just gassed here or not. Taken down, trying to get a couple minutes to catch her breath. She has been front running so often here in the last 15 minutes. Remember, she only played a half hour in the first half before being pulled, presumably to catch her breath for the final 15 minutes. There's the Rutgers bench.
Number
Instructions
18.
being given to Gabby Moreno and Breanne Reed by Meg Ryan. For Fordham, Turner Block will be coming on at the next stoppage. Foligno certainly not 100% after that challenge, as she's playing right midfield. She was a midfielder quite often for the Canadian national team, so I'm sure she's used to that kind of exercise. Valiant, Andreessen, wide for Foligno. It's a great first touch. She is fouled. Taken down by Lorena Kanakati. A lot of tired-looking legs out there. A lot of walking right now, and Foligno one of them.
It's hot. It's humid today, too. And to some extent, players still getting to 100% fitness. They should start to see them there after this game, though, as they go into next week, training next week.
Valiant, another great ball to Cole. Combination touch. Cuts it back to herself. Now lays off Valiant. One touch to the box, through 2. Foligno's on. Her strike to goal is saved on a kick by Fitzgerald.
Now, Foligno just can't find a way past Megan Fitzgerald. Again, the Fordham goalkeeper off her line and makes herself big to deny Janelle Foligno.
A ninth
It's been a
save.
terrific performance by Megan Fitzgerald. A man of the match performance because she has single-handedly kept Fordham in this game.
4 first half saves, 5 saves in the first 19 minutes here of the second. The freshman keeper out of Monroe, Connecticut, out of the Yankee United Blaze program. She'll collect the ball here. 19 shots for Rutgers, but because of that goalkeeper, it is 0-0. Valiant. I contend she's been the best player for Rutgers today. Valiant has made every pass perfectly.
Yeah. Or Rachel Cole.
Valiant again right onto the foot of the attacker, Pietrangelo, into the stomach of Fitzgerald.
Well, you said it, Valiant. You're right. Her passing has been outstanding today. Again, picks out the run of Pietrangelo. Worked it onto her left foot. Tough angle to beat Fitzgerald from it. It's straight at the goalkeeper.
It's so hard to put into context Canadian honors because of what we have here in Pietrangelo, a former U20 Player of the Year candidate. Foligno won the Player of the Year. Here is Foligno looking across the way for her fellow Canadian in Pietrangelo, and it's a throw. But for Valiant, the Markham native, she was a U17 camp selection for Canada. Was the U17 camp selection in 2010. So here comes Moreno. Cassie Ignacio for the first time today for Rutgers with Brianne Reed as well as Jessica Pacholski, the freshman forward out of the Greater Middlesex Conference, South Brunswick, as Janelle Foligno will come off after 20 minutes of hard work here in the second. Brianne Reed, flip throw time, Kyle.
Replacing number 21, Amy Pietrangelo. Number 22,
flip throw from Reed towards the box. Good bullet. Skrosky got ahead to it, and it flicks into Fitzgerald for her 11th save today. First touch for Pacholski, the South Brunswick native, highly touted recruit for RU. Glenn Crooks has a propensity to play freshmen. Prager, touched by Cole, little too nifty, looking for Katkowski. Collision there, and Reed certainly went in. Inacio is on. We said she scored against Fordham 2 years ago. 3 goals last year for the midfielder from Manalapan. Very quick. But both her and Steph Scholes have struggled to score in big spots over the course of the past year.
She's an interesting player to me, Danny, because I think she's got boatloads of talent, a lot of pace. She can go 1v1 against people and beat players. But early in this season, you know, she has not been a first-choice player for Glenn Crooks.
Here she is. Runs out, goes through to Cole, whose first touch gets around the defender. Inacio is with her as well, but Cole will take it on 1-on-3, and it's Doyle, who else, on defense
Cole
today.
just didn't get her head up in time. The run there was on for Inacio, and that's what Cassie's telling her right now, is you had it if you cut it back into the center of the field.
It's a bemused staff. I think that would be the word for it. Trying to figure things out here in the 67th minute. They have Pacholski on, who won the PDA National Championship with the Slammers. That's coached by Mike and Meg. O'Neill and Ryan beat Dallas Sting 3-0 in that final. The flip throw from Reed has to be punched by Fitzgerald. Inacio's volley, far post, Pacholski is there. Keeps it off the line. 21 Rutgers shots, no tallies. Here's Pacholski, the South Brunswick native, cuts it back. Prager. Tori Prager's shot is blocked. Good sliding tackle to knock that away from Whitman. Somehow it remains 0-0.
Keep it up, Jess.
Good first involvement from Pacholski. Prager there first.
Jess, couple more minutes, Jess, come on.
Skrosky kept that out of danger. Reed nearly gave it away. Got it back. Saved the day. Off to DePaulo. Rutgers has numbers if they move forward. DePaulo ambitious with the over-the-top ball.
Whitman a little unlucky there for Fordham. Nice job closing down Brianne Reed.
There's Pacholski, member of that PDA championship team.
Jessica Whitman.
Alpa on for Fordham. Coaches raved about Pacholski preseason, the All-State selection 3 times in a row. Inacio pushed off the ball, splitting 2. That will be a goal kick. It was a well-timed, well-intended run by Inacio. Soccer's a weird game, Kyle. 21-3 in the shots, 8-1 in corners, but the score is all that matters here with 21 minutes to go in regulation. It's 0-0 between Rutgers and Fordham. Scarlet Knights looking to go to 4-0. Fordham trying to get its first win of the campaign. 11 saves by Megan Fitzgerald. That is the story of the day.
Well, Fordham hasn't been able to muster anything offensively. You certainly have to commend the way they've defended. You're coming in here when they were just absolutely rocked by St. John's.
Wide of goal on the ground from Swift.
I mean, to finish that point, Danny, you could have seen Rutgers coming in here and scoring 4 or 5 and making quick work. So, you know, certainly you have to give credit to Fordham, and particularly Fitzgerald, the goalkeeper, who's been outstanding.
Rutgers fortunate. Moreno kept that in. Still Moreno. 4-on-3, and the through ball would have been on. Not for the stellar defending of Bates on a yellow card. 19:50 remaining. The 21 shots Rutgers is on currently. It's the most since recording 20 in a 5-0 win against Cincinnati last year, that on October the 14th. That game, more efficient in the goal-scoring department, 5 of the 20. Here, 0 of the 21. Moreno will just whack it away. 19 to go, still no score. Janos has to take the short hop.
A little bit of an awkward bounce for Janos. Keeps her body behind it, though. You'd like to see her come claim that in the air.
9-3 in her career. It's with 12 starts now. Rachel Cole was first there to at least make that difficult for the Fordham defense. Rutgers throw. Cole has taken on a facilitator role from the attack to start her sophomore year. A couple of assists, but I know Glenn Crooks would love her to step up and become a goal scorer. Once again, as she did in high school. Win by Moreno. Katkowski pushed from behind, no call. Rutgers keeps it. Smith for DePaulo. Moreno the turn. No true numbers. They go out wide for Cole. Cole is off. The flag is up.
Can't be offside there. You're looking right across the line. Have to hold your run better.
Let's go, Rutgers! Come on, guys.
I'd imagine Glenn Crooks has got to be thinking about coming back with Janelle Foligno for the last 15 minutes.
You would think.
To try and grab a late winner.
There's your scoreboard. So we approach 17:30 remaining second half. The shots 4-1 in favor of Rutgers. Corners 8-1. Every meaningful statistic. It's the 11 saves of Megan Fitzgerald that will stand out to you. Cole has 2-on-3, got a first touch to it, and it's Rachel Cole to the box, and she's beaten to the ball by Bryce DeBolt, the freshman.
Sorry, Dane, just unlucky for Rachel Cole there. She won the first ball. That second touch, though, just a little too far in front, and DeBolt is able to recover and get it away.
Katkowski, Cole knocked off by Bates. Counter by Lorena Kanakati. Well hit over the top. Block is there. The substitute splits a pair of tired Rutgers defenders in Reed and DePaulo. Got it back to Alpa. Spinning ball, top of the box. And it's knocked away by Smith, who's first there.
And it was. It's a good challenge by Aaron Smith. A fair one, too, to win that.
Pachalski turns. 3-on-3 on for Rutgers with Inacio and Cole. Pachalski chips through too much.
Yeah, it's got to be a better ball.
Rutgers returning 13 letter winners.
There's a little bit of hit and hope from Pachalski. And you can see Rutgers right now is going to make the changes and bring in a new attacking unit.
Veterans here, though. 13 letter winners back, 8 starters, 84% of the scoring. Fordham player down far side. Rutgers will play on with it. Here comes Moreno. Through ball for Inacio is too much. So we have played a half hour in the second. There is Meg Ryan going over instructions with Steph Scholes, Madison Tiernan, and Janelle Foligno. I mean, if there's 3 scorers Rutgers can send on now to get one in these final 15, I think those are the 3 I would choose. Mary Solomine and Jessica Widman, 2 of the more impressive Fordham midfielders, will be the counter substitutions. Katkowski. Moreno was offside with her flick. 75 minutes have been played at Yersak Field.
Yeah, it's hard to believe Rutgers hasn't scored today with the amount of possession and shots on target. But again, the goalkeeper for Fordham has been outstanding.
Megan Fitzgerald, Danny Breslauer, Kyle Franco with you. You're looking at Bush Campus in the Ursack Field in Piscataway. Students returning to campus yesterday, moving in. A lot of buzz on College Avenue and the surrounding areas for the return of the Rutgers students. Football home opener next weekend. Soccer with the 2 men's games on the Friday, Sunday. But some women's soccer business to take care of before this squad goes on to Charlottesville and the Virginia tournament. You can tell Block has the fresh legs. Swift. Turning is Natal. The serve by Lorena Kanikati, headed away Skrosky. Rutgers can counter. Pachalski had it taken off of her by Doyle. Dougherty Howard, a little unselfish. DePaulo for Inacio. And now the substitutions. 4 for Fordham, 3 for Rutgers. Melendez, Solamine, McDonald, Widman on. For Rutgers, it's the 3 up top. Foligno, Tiernan, Scholes. Off come Pachalski and Inacio. This is the time if Rutgers has one to go get this tally.
Yeah, Glenn Crook's looking for that final push in the last 13-20.
He'll also be looking for Valiant and Andreessen to come on momentarily in the midfield. Here's Foligno's first touch, over top. Madison Tiernan is behind the defense with Steph Scholes. 2 on none for Rutgers. Tiernan's tripped in the box, a PK for RU. And it comes in the 78th minute.
Well, the fresh legs come on, an immediate impact. Janelle Foligno over the top for Tiernan. And it's Doyle, who's been the best defender for Fordham today, that commits the penalty in the box. Tiernan was just going to cut it back onto her left foot. And Doyle gets caught with her foot hanging in there. Clear penalty.
It's actually the 77th as the clock stops at 13:02. And Janelle Foligno scored on a PK in the 16th minute to win the game on Friday night. Much deeper in the game tonight, looking for her 14th career game-winning goal, or at least to set one up that way. Foligno got it. 1-0 Rutgers in the 77th on Foligno's 3rd of the year.
As cool as you like for Janelle Foligno. 13 minutes to go, doesn't matter to her. She's been foiled all day by Fitzgerald, but when Foligno steps up to the spot, she's got the confidence. She knows exactly where she's going to put it, and no mistake by the senior. Great penalty.
Fitzgerald, 11 saves today. Can't do anything about that. It's Janelle Foligno's 28th career goal. 4th all-time at Rutgers. Potentially a 14th game-winning goal, which would be only behind the 15 posted in their careers by Carly Lloyd and Chris Kurzanowski. It comes in the 77th minute. It starts with her pass over top to Tiernan. The fresh legs off the bench. She gets tripped. Foligno deposits. Goal right.
And you know what? The thing was, I almost thought they had passed the chance up when Tiernan tried to cut it back because Steph Scholes was making the run to the far post and the pass was on. And as soon as I saw Tiernan cut it back, I thought, oh no, the chance might be gone. But Doyle left her leg in there and was able to and tripped her up. It's a clear penalty. There can be no arguments about it.
Now Rutgers will be searching for insurance. Took 77 minutes and a 20-second shot just to get one. Skrosky has to get rid of the danger. He's pushing forward with Solamine. Corner kick Fordham. And Tiernan initially had gone to the ball, tripped up. New Jersey Player of the Year, so used to it. Oh, but wait a second, freshman. There's a 5th-year senior here. So Foligno gets the chance to put it away. But Tiernan did a lot of the work. Corner for Fordham, just the Rams' 2nd. Away by Tiernan. All 11 Scarlet Knights in the box. Janos will deal with that easily on the hit from Doyle from back. And Doyle, who's played such a brilliant game, quite unfortunate to be saddled with that foul.
Yeah, she's trying to track back on Tiernan, and then she goes to make the challenge, and once Madison cuts it back, just left her leg hanging in there. and commits the foul.
The Janos punt is a great one here. Leads Foligno for Tiernan. Now Andreessen. Still Andreessen to her left foot into Fitzgerald.
Good save again by Fitzgerald. Had to hold that. Foligno was bearing down on her should there have been a rebound.
Rutgers pressing for more. Foligno 1-2 looking for Tiernan. Handball. It goes off an outstretched arm of DeBolt. Foligno is appealing for a card. That 1-2 chip very well could have sent Tiernan through. There is the freshman. Goal against Drexel in her career opener. Had an assist as well against Army. 77th minute penalty kick by Janelle Foligno, her third goal of the year, 28th of her career. Has Rutgers up 1-0, approaching 10 minutes remaining. Outshot Fordham 23-6. Samantha Valiant, one of the brightest players today, has one into the wall. Kyle, get the sense that there could be insurance coming.
Yeah. I always thought once they got the first one, it might open up a little bit, particularly you get it so late. Now Fordham has to commit numbers forward to try and get an equalizer. You can see the space here.
3-on-3. Tiernan keeps it off the line just barely. Back for Andreessen. Through one, maybe one too many touches from the freshman.
And you would certainly like a second here just to cement it away.
Prager from distance.
Nah, there's a better option than that.
Nonetheless, a 25th Rutgers shot on the day as Kitkowski's waiting to check in. The substitution did exactly what was intended from Glenn Crooks when he put the entire front line in of Scholes, Foligno, and Tiernan. It results in a PK immediately as Tiernan's tripped. Overlapping run from Valiant, finds space off the pass from Tiernan. Andreessen is open in the box. Valiant picks her out. Andreessen jummies through. Foligno off for Tiernan to her left foot, and it's a goal for the freshman. The buildup is perfect. The assist goes to Andreessen off the dummy with the touch through from Valiant. It's 2-0 on Tiernan's goal.
Well, that's why getting that first one was so important, because Fordham then has to open up and go for it, and you can see just acres and acres of space in the back. Again, it's Valiant with the first ball in, and Foligno just touches it back to Tiernan, puts it on her left foot. No mistake on that finish. Low catches the goalkeeper wrong-footed. Fitzgerald, no chance, and that should be the ball game.
Foligno credit with the assist because she is the final touch, despite most of the work from Valiant and Andreessen to get that through. There should be a substitution warning here on the side. There was a lack of communication between the fourth referee and the official. The goal comes in the 81st minute from Madison Tiernan. It doubles Rutgers' advantage. The 77th minute goal by Janelle Foligno off a PK. And you had the sense that once one came, two was not too far behind. And it is the two that we believe to be the main scorers for Rutgers on this campaign. Foligno and Tiernan, who do the duty so far for Rutgers. Inside of 9 minutes to go, second half. Rutgers with 2 goals in 4 minutes to take a 2-0 lead here. Late in the contest, Foligno's third of the year, Tiernan second. Good sliding tackle by DePaulo to get that loose. Reed will have a chance to clear and does.
Yeah, Trish DePaulo's really settled in nicely to that left back role. You know, she had a little bit of that adjustment period a season ago, but I think she's really made that her own.
Here comes Scholes sprinting forward. No reason to press, as she knows that time is in Rutgers' favor right now. 26 shots, but a PK and a well-struck left-footed hit from Tiernan are the two that go in, and Rutgers can empty the bench a little bit. Jenna Seddon, the freshman back from Galloway. Nikki Hudson, the freshman midfielder from Baltimore. Allie Ryan as well. Foligno will get a cheer for what will be her 14th game-winning goal. One shy of the school record now, Kyle. She was snake-bitten all game. Turned away by Fitzgerald so many times and got to the penalty kick spot and does the trick. It's just like we said with the goalie, needing to be called upon after really not having much to do. It's an opposite spot for Foligno where she had too much to do. Scholl's waiting. May have been better served to bring it down, but nonetheless.
You know, sorry, Danny, for 77 minutes, it was a really dogged defensive performance by Fordham. They made life really difficult for the Scarlet Knights, and as we mentioned time and time again, Fitzgerald's been outstanding in goal, but eventually the quality of Rutgers shines through.
There you go. Scholl's brings it down. 1-2. Looking with Tiernan. Somehow gets back to her. That one flubbed a bit along the ground. Will be the first concessions of the year by Fitzgerald, who came in relief of Allie White in their 5-0 blitzkrieg against St. John's. Behind the defense is Nikki Hudson. Had 3-on-1, but is cut out. Foul on Hudson for clambering into the defender. So now that the Scarlet Knights will move on 4-0, Kyle, it appears, with 6:20 to go here in a multiple goal advantage. To Charlottesville at 4-0 they go, and a team that beat them 6-1 in the NCAA tournament awaits the University of Virginia.
It'll certainly be on their minds. It's certainly been on their minds all offseason. These Rutgers players will want to go down there and give a good account of themselves and show they're better than that team that Virginia, whitewashed in that NCAA tournament game.
Remember to stay tuned. Glenn Crooks after the contest along the byline.
And, Rutgers should be confident going down there 4-0. You can nitpick and say there's things here and there that Glenn Crooks will certainly want to improve on. As a coach, you always think you could be better, but 4-0 is still 4-0, and the results are in your favor, and that's really the one thing that's always going to give you confidence is when you're getting victories. 7
NCAA bids all time, 5 at-large under Glenn Crooks. They're picked 3rd in the conference this year preseason in the American Athletic before they move on to the Big Ten next year.
And they should be back in the NCAA tournament this year. This Rutgers team's certainly good enough.
Katkowski along the field, looking for Tiernan as we approach 5 minutes to go. Remember, our next RVision broadcast will be Friday night. 7 o'clock kick, Rutgers and Penn State men's soccer. Hudson has that knocked away. Happy New Year to all those celebrating Rosh Hashanah this week, and we'll return to you after the holiday Friday night. Sarah Corson comes on for Rutgers, as well as Pacholski. But Corson, interestingly, who had the 2 goals against Army, her first time out there today, the junior from Metuchen. Madison Tiernan comes off. Kyle, you have to like what you've seen from her.
Yeah, I like what I've seen from the young freshman. She certainly showed she has a nose for goal.
If there's a way to get an assist on a PK, which I know there is not, but she had it. Was the one tripped in the box that Foligno scored the PK off of to win the game in the 77th minute. Tiernan then adding the insurance in the 81st.
And one thing that's impressed me about Tiernan is the strength she's shown on the ball. For a freshman to come into this level and be able, to take a challenge the way she has. And, in both, and the goal she scored in the opener, she showed great strength. In fighting off a challenge, and we've seen it on multiple occasions today where she's just been able to ride that first challenge from the defender.
Katkowski holding the ball up well. Combination ends up with Seddon. Katkowski splits a trio. There's the aggressiveness that you want to see from Katkowski moving forward. .350 as the clock ticks down. 2-0 advantage, which is quite just for Rutgers, you would say. 0-0 did not describe the quality of Rutgers' attacking options today. They were able to get a pair. Pachalski along the right wing. Here's a chance for Rutgers. Corson's waiting, and it's knocked home by the freshman Pachalski. 3-0 RU.
A nice reward for the freshman Pachalski coming on today, getting some run in this second half, and right there just gets around the back of the defender and is able to slip it past Fitzgerald at the near post. And you can see Fordham tired legs and tired minds. They put so much effort into trying to defend and get out of here with a result that the floodgates have just opened up here once Rutgers was able to get on the scoreboard.
86th minute goal for the freshman, her first career tally. Coming off the high school national championship at the club level. Thought again that we might see Sarah Corson pick up that opportunist goal that she had against Army. Having a pair in that contest. Now this line almost looks unfair to Fordham.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, that 3-0 looks, it's unfair on Fitzgerald.
Yes.
She's been outstanding today because she certainly hasn't been at fault for any of the 3 Rutgers goals.
She has 13 saves, does the freshman goalie, and I think Ness Salmani has his goalkeeper for the future.
Agreed.
Jess Janos nearing yet another clean sheet for her, which would bring her shutout streak, doing some quick math, to 347 minutes heading into Charlottesville. Away by Skrosky. You don't see this often. 0-0 for 76 minutes, and then goals in the 77th, 81st, and 86th for Rutgers.
Well, we said from the top we thought if Rutgers could get one, the rest would follow.
Right. And I think we started to realize at the 50th minute that there was more than one goal in this team today. They were just a little snake-bitten by Fitzgerald. Foligno's 77th minute PK after Tiernan's taken down. Then Tiernan scores off a pass from Foligno that started with Andreessen. Then Pachalski adds to it, and Rutgers wants more. Hudson off for Corson. Sarah Corson is offside. I'm not so sure. Maybe a mercy call up 3-0.
It might have been the 3-0 offside call.
I think so.
It was close.
Quite even, I believe.
Certainly don't want to be offside there when you're looking across the line.
Allie Ryan. Still Allie Ryan. Here's Corson again. Playing with her conference foe in Pachalski up top. 2 years separated. South Brunswick and Metuchen. 28 shots for RU to 6 for Fordham. 8 corners to 1 in favor of Rutgers. Ryan's through ball. Looking for Pachalski, who wanted a double. Would have been a nice 5-minute brace for Pachalski after coming on late. Inside the final minute. 3-0 describes Rutgers' dominance, but not necessarily what Fordham deserves. It will send Rutgers to 4-0 overall. Good win from Katkowski. 30 seconds. In Virginia, Rutgers will have a true test of its defense, which has not really allowed much in the way of shots on goal. Today, 4. That's the most they have allowed this year. 10 altogether across the first 4 games, and you can be sure Virginia will have their chances on Friday when Rutgers heads down to Charlottesville. Goals by Foligno, Tiernan, and Pachalski, all after the 77th. Rutgers wins 3-0.
Danny, bottom line, though, Rutgers walks out of today 4-0 on the season, so it's a perfect start. It's great for the confidence heading down to Virginia. Listen, it was a stubborn performance by Fordham today defensively. Didn't want to give anything away, but in the end, Rutgers quality shines. Janelle Foligno from the penalty spot, and that opened it up for 2 more goals, 3-0 for the Scarlet Knights.
As the scoreboard's telling you, coming up, Coach Glenn Crooks will join him on the field right after this. Rutgers 3, Fordham 0 on RVision, presented by AT&T.